There's a bit of confusion and debate about this, but it's agreed that one of the most important things you have to know is your dominant eye. Dominance has a pretty big role in many sports and in life. If you play a form of football, then you need to know which of your legs you prefer kicking with. If you're using your hands, you need to know which hand you feel more comfortable using. And in shooting sport, like in rifle shooting or in archery, eye dominance plays a huge role. The way eye dominance works is that despite having two eyes, your brain prefers receiving information from one over the other. The dominant eye provides the focus. The non-dominant eye provides the depth of vision. Most people have the same eye dominance as their strong hand, but a small percentage of people are cross-dominant. For the most part, that means most archers are right-eyed, right-handed. There are several methods of determining eye dominance. One method, the Miles test, involves extending your arms, overlapping your fingers so that you form a small hole with your thumbs. Look through this hole at a distant object, then close one eye. If you can no longer see the object, then your open eye is the non-dominant eye. Alternatively, you can move your hands to your face while keeping the object in focus. Your hands will move to your dominant eye. If your eye dominance is the same as your handedness, you've got it easy. But if you are cross-dominant, you've got a tough decision to make. The question is, should I get a right-handed bow or left-handed bow? And do I base that decision on eye dominance or handedness? Keep in mind that most archers, particularly for recurve, shoot with both eyes open. It provides for much better depth perception. Cross-dominant archers, however, have this problem of naturally preferring one eye over the other. It makes it very difficult to align the string or the sight. It just looks wrong. As a right-hand, right-eye shooter, when I draw, I can just see the string off to the side of my eye. Now, if I were to close my right eye and do that, I would see what a left eye dominant shooter would see. The string is nowhere near where it should be. If you're watching someone who may be cross-dominant, what you may see is the archer actually trying to anchor a bit differently, to try and get that string alignment in place. So there are some big problems with consistency and alignment if you're shooting cross-dominant. Now, if I was a left-eyed shooter, the natural choice may be to use a left-handed bow, which means I can get the correct visual alignment. The problem is that if I'm using my non-dominant hand, I'm going to have a harder time trying to control my shot. I simply don't have the strength or the coordination to control my shot, and that's going to have a big effect on my accuracy. So we come back to the question, if you are cross-dominant, do you pick your bow based on your strong hand or your strong eye? This is where things get a little confusing. Different guides and coaching manuals will recommend different things. Some will point out the obvious. You need to sight the target with your dominant eye. Others will argue that it's easier to adapt your technique to match your eye than it is to train your weak hand. Both sides have fair points. Some people are so exclusively one-sided that they simply lack the dexterity and strength needed to shoot with their weak hand. In fact, it's fairly common for introductory sessions to give bows to people based on their handedness. It's just easy to teach people how to shoot a bow if they are already comfortable using their strong hand. Some people just cannot build that weak hand no matter how hard they try and how hard they practice. For some cross-dominant archers, there is a natural tendency to bring the string to the stronger eye. And a lot of archers who start off learning cross-dominant shooting see two targets, and it can take a while to kind of merge them back into one target to focus on. Archers can be taught to overcome this, and some people actually change eye dominance after years of practice. There are other ways to adapt your eye dominance to your strong shooting hand, and sometimes archers will use an eye patch to cover their strong eye to force themselves to use their weak eye to focus on target. Sometimes, however, no matter how hard you try, it's simply impossible for someone to use their weak eye, and they have chronic form problems. in which case they will have to switch to their weak hand. Ultimately, whether you choose a bow based on your eye dominance or your handedness depends on how comfortable you are with adapting to either one. Some people find it easier to use their dominant hand, others can't shoot with their weak eye. If you're buying a bow, this is one of the key reasons why you should try before you buy. Anyway, hope this was helpful. This is NUSensei. I'll see you next time.